Hello. This episode's probably gonna be a little bit shorter because I have literally no notes and I just felt like I wanted to get this out there and talk to you guys just kind of honestly and candidly. I mean, that's my podcast is always like that, but I just I don't know. I feel like this is a topic where sometimes I don't really feel qualified to talk about it because I still have so much learning to do and I still have so far to come. And I don't know, I feel like it's been a crazy journey, but at the same time, there's still so much I can learn. And I still find myself falling into and just falling backwards and leaning into bad habits and stuff like that. And I know I'm not perfect, but I just still wanted to kind of talk to you guys for a little bit. So hi, hello, welcome back to the podcast. I hope you guys are having a good week. I would like you to please note that it is daylight outside. If you're watching this on YouTube, I am in fact filming during the day, and I wish that it were it's literally, of course, it's 3 p.m. and this is usually the time that the sun is streaming through my windows, my disco ball's going crazy, and it's just so nice. It's the best time. But unfortunately, the day that I decide to film and decide to prove a point that I'm not filming at 3 a.m., it's cloudy and gloomy and probably gonna storm any second now. So sorry about that, but please note that my sleep schedule, although it's still kind of out of whack, it has gotten a little bit better. So shout out. I may or may not have stayed up on Depop buying things until 5 a.m. the other night, but still we're doing a little bit better. So basically today I am going to be talking to you guys about body positivity and about self-love and all that stuff. I've talked a little bit about this, sprinkled here and there. My last, a few episodes ago when I talked about finding your personal style, I kind of sprinkled it in there a little bit, but I don't know. I want this to be a dedicated episode to talk about your body, your physical appearance, and how that can affect your mental health. And again, no notes. Well, I do have a few. It literally says, hi, hello, hope you're having a good week. It's daylight. Enter, say hello, ask people how they're doing. I didn't want to film today because my face is messed up. I don't know, I feel like I kind of talk about it here and there, but I have never really talked explicitly what the actual issue is. And I'm here to tell you firsthand that I don't know. I don't know. I've been to every doctor under the sun and they don't know. But basically, and if you're lucky, maybe I'll feel generous and insert some photos if you're watching this on YouTube. But basically, my skin is horrible. I don't have acne or anything, which I'm super grateful for. I know a lot of people struggle with that and it can be an absolute biatch. And I'm really glad that I don't have that. However, I do have something that I don't even know what it is. Basically, I have really, really bad allergies just to everything. I can eat one bite of one thing and I'll break out in hives all over my face. And that's the thing too. The worst part about it is that most of the time when I have a reaction, it is right on my face, which sucks because it makes me feel like I don't want to go anywhere and I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see anyone. And that was kind of the case today. It's how it'll kind of appear is... And it's not always just from eating things. Sometimes it'll just happen and it'll last a few days and then eventually it'll go away and doctors don't even know what's going on and it sucks and I hate it so much. But basically, I woke up this morning with an incredibly swollen face. I had this weird allergic reaction. I'm looking in the mirror myself trying to identify the problems. I couldn't open my eyes when I woke up. My eyes always get really swollen. I just crazy hyperpigmentation and my whole face, it just feels like you're stretching something out and you're trying to push forward on it, but you can't push forward. So it's feels really tight. Does that make any sense at all? It feels really tight. It's super uncomfortable and it just is painful. It stings a lot and it's just puffy and I feel really swollen and I'll tell you what, it just makes me feel like I want to hide under my bed for 100 years and not see anyone because it's just the worst. It happened most often when I was living in Savannah. I think it had to do with mold or maybe water or air quality there. I don't totally know, but it was horrible. It was so embarrassing. it sucked. It sucked a lot, and it sucks a lot now. I've always had really sensitive skin. I have like really bad eczema, and so like I always have really dry skin, and people are like, just use lotion, and I'm like, oh my God, that's such an innovative, cool, clever idea. I can't believe I didn't think about that before. That's so awesome. Too bad I'm allergic to it. But also, yeah, I am kind of allergic. I'm allergic to everything. But I use lotion, and then it just like it sucks it up so fast. My skin's dry, and I kid you not, literally like 2 minutes. So it just feels like there's like nothing I can do to fix it. I've tried to go like dairy free. I mean, obviously I'm not eating anything I'm allergic to. So I don't know. It's a whole mystery, but basically that's like what I'm dealing with today, and why I was like, I do not want to film this. I don't want to do this. But then I was like, you know what? That's kind of the point. If I'm going to be talking about like body positivity and talking about like just how I'm feeling now, I feel like I should just be like, you know what? Yeah. Hi, this is what I look like. And the thing is, it has actually gone down. The swelling has gone down a lot from this morning. So I might not look that crazy, but still, of course, I'm so nitpicky when I look in the mirror, because I know exactly how I think I should look and what I looked like before. And I saw Reese today, and he was like, oh my God, no, like you look fine. Like you're still so beautiful. And I'm like, don't lie. Like, don't lie to me. Like, I know I know I don't look good. Like, I know I don't look beautiful. And he's like, no, you're beautiful inside and out. And I'm like, shut up. But I mean, he's right. He's right in the sense that, first of all, no one looks, no one cares, no one notices. And that, I mean, I've said this so many times before, but no one's gonna love you for how you look, you know, like it's all about what's in your heart and your soul and your mind and like all that stuff. All the internal stuff is why people are attracted to you and want to be friends with you or want to date you or want to hang out with you, you know. Like, I have some amazing relationships and some incredible friends, and it would be like, well, for starters, they wouldn't be my friends if they didn't want to hang out with me because I looked a certain way. That is so incredibly shallow. But you know what I'm saying, you know, like it's just, it matters what's inside. And I know obviously that's like such a cop out. Everyone's always like, oh, it's on what's on the inside is what counts. And you're beautiful inside and out. And it's like, okay, yeah, take a breather, take a break, and just like assess what you just said, because know that I'm feeling literally terrible. And you telling me I'm beautiful inside and out, it's nice, but it doesn't go very far when I'm feeling like I'm at rock bottom, you know. But I do appreciate everyone's kind words and everyone being nice to me and pretending like they don't notice. But I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's the whole topic for today, is body positivity. And so I guess I should just like kind of tell a little bit about my story. I don't really know, because I don't have any notes on this. I didn't really think this through. And like I said, I still have so much to learn, but I just kind of wanted to like, I think something that I really like about YouTube and my podcast and doing all this stuff is just like acknowledging the fact that I am not perfect and that I have so much more to learn. But if anything, I can put myself out there to be an example for other people, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, I have no idea what's going on with my skin, but there is a total absolute chance that someone out here is going to be watching this and be like, oh my God, that's exactly what happens to me too. It's so annoying, but like, I'm glad I'm not alone, you know? I mean, I know I'm not any kind of huge like influencer or something, but I think like a huge issue with social media is that people are trying to like decide what they think is real and what's fake, you know? And if like, you know, especially with like sponsored posts and bloggers and influencers trying to advertise products and stuff, and they're like, do you really like this, or is it just for a paycheck? Like, it's always kind of that line of like what's real and what's fake on social media. Also, especially with like Facetune and people editing things out. I like, as much as I can come on here and be like, I am beautiful and I don't wear makeup. For starters, I don't wear makeup because my face is going to blow up like this. So I would love to wear makeup. Makeup makes me feel incredibly beautiful and powerful, and I would totally do that. And I think when people wear makeup, that's awesome. But I don't do it because I can't. But I try to embrace that and try to be like, oh, I can't do this, so I'm going to just like, I don't know, because I can't do this, I'm going to embrace it and have it be like a thing and whatever. But because I kind of lost my train of thought there with that one. Because I don't wear makeup, doesn't mean, oh my God, what was I just talking about? My brain. I'm not even going to cut this out because this is literally just my train of thought. This episode is all about just like being upfront and honest. So I thought I'd put it out there. Anyway, I just like with social media, it can be so hard to, again, discern what's real and what's fake. And I think it's just like kind of up to the people who are creating the content to decide like how real they want to be. Oh yeah, okay. So even though I don't wear makeup, you better believe that like while I can still stand there and be proud and be like, I'm not wearing makeup, haha, no makeup. Of course I'm gonna edit out a pimple. Like, yes, there's a time and place for posts that are like me, real skin, like this is me. When I go into my computer and I'm editing, I mean, I'm not like changing the shape of my face, but I'm like, might as well go in, edit out that pimple or like edit out like the stain in the carpet or something, you know, like that's just how social media is. And that's definitely how I am. I know that I do that. I'm not ashamed of that. And I don't really care because I feel like that's not the issue at hand, you know, like I'm not changing the shape of my body, but I am for sure if I have like a super bad spot of like really redness or something on my cheek, like I might try to like tone that down a little bit. Just because I don't want to draw attention to it, and that's not the point of the picture. I've had so many times when the point of the picture is to be like, this is me and my real skin, this is me and my body confidence, body positivity, like, and I'll show that. But I don't know. I think it's just like, I don't see a problem with that because I'm just like, oh, I feel like this looks good. Yes, I'll whiten my teeth a little bit. Yes, I'll do this, like in Photoshop, all that stuff. But like, I don't know. That doesn't feel like fake to me, you know, because even then if you saw me in person and you saw a pimple, you wouldn't be like, you liar, I recognize that pimple from your picture, it wasn't there, it's there on your face now, you are a liar, I'm unfollowing you, I hate you so much. Like, people aren't like that. That's not how that works. Speaking of that, no one looks at your photos. Literally no one does. I don't like if like when I say that, I mean like no one is like, if they see you in a photo, they're not thinking about your skin or your weight or your height or just the shape of your body, the shape of your face, anything like that. Like, they're not noticing that. Like, you know, when you see yourself in a photo, you're with a group of friends and you're like, oh my God, don't post that. I look so fat. Like, don't post that. Which also, by the way, of course, we need to like recognize that saying fat in a negative connotation is literally so toxic and horrible. I recognize that, but I'm also so guilty of, in my own brain, seeing fat as a negative thing. And as much as I can come out here and be like, allow fat women to enjoy being fat, like reclaim that word. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to gain weight. It's not a bad thing to be a certain weight. It's literally just society telling us that fat equals bad, when that's not even true at all. Like, yes, I know that. And I see so many beautiful, amazing plus size men and women. And I love that. I have no problem with that. But for some reason in my own brain, I can't turn that off. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that that's not good, but like sometimes in my brain, I see myself as that and I think it's negative, but then the words I speak out of my mouth are the exact opposite. Does that make sense? Do I sound crazy? Like, it's so easy, especially with having a platform. And I know I'm small, but whatever. I have some kind of platform. If you're watching this, and you're just my one and only follower, then you're my platform. Awesome. If I have a platform, it's so easy to be like, yes, like I'm a mental health advocate. I support, like, obviously take time for yourself, and like, you're beautiful no matter what weight you are. You're beautiful, like, no matter what phase of life you're in. Like, love yourself in every phase of life. Do you think I love myself in every phase of life? It's literally all about just like speaking out into the universe what I want to believe myself. You know, that's exactly why I decided to do this podcast just with no notes and just kind of off the cuff, just kind of ranting, because like, I need to hear it myself. You know what I mean? That was the whole point of starting this podcast, is that I know I have some valuable advice, but I do not in any way, shape, or form have it all figured out at all. And so if I'm coming here, setting up this camera, putting in my microphone and saying, hi, I have so many problems, but I want to figure them out, so I'm going to talk with them through you. It's kind of like, again, I've never been to like therapy or anything, but I feel like this is kind of like a therapeutic way. It's like I'm just like venting and ranting and talking about things and trying to like speak it until it's true. Like I feel like it's kind of good and bad in a way, coming on here and being like, you're beautiful, you're amazing, like love yourself, because 99% of the time I don't believe that for myself. But at the same time, looking at myself in the viewfinder, I'm looking at myself now and saying, you're beautiful, you're amazing, I love you. That's something. I mean, like, I have so much to learn, and I'm excited to learn that. And I'm excited that you guys are along with me on this process. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't know. I have a long way to go, and I'm excited about that. I think that it's going to be a good journey, but I'm also like a little bit scared. And I don't know. I feel like I used to have so many issues with the way that my body looked and the way that my body is until I started having these face issues. Then that, like, the face thing kind of just like took over. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was so consumed with the thought that I like wasn't skinny enough, that I didn't look good, that my body was just like imperfect, and that no one wanted to hang out with me or date me or anything because the way my body looked. And that was like my main issue for so long. And then once I started having face issues, something that's so on the surface that you can't cover up with a giant hoodie, that's what really kind of took over, and that became my main insecurity. It's weird how that happens. There's like only so much space in my brain for insecurities, and one's got to be the main one, you know. While I have so many, you've got to have the main one. And for me right now, it's my face, which sucks, especially in a time when we're supposed to be wearing masks, and it literally is so painful to do that. So I'm pretty much just staying in my house because I can't put on a mask. And I'm obviously not an anti-masker, but when I tell you, it literally burns my face to have something like that close. If anyone has like mask recommendations for ones that like aren't, I mean, I guess I could wear like a face shield, but when I see people in the store with face shields on and no masks, I'm like, what are you doing? It's going to go in the sides and in the bottom, and it, like, I don't know. I'm figuring that out. That's a me problem. But I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is that nobody else cares about what's on the outside. Because, I mean, if you have a shitty personality, they're not hanging out with you because you have a shitty personality, not because of your weight or your face, you know? And if that is the case, you have shallow friends and you should drop them. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. This rant is kind of going nowhere. Or is it going everywhere? Who knows? I think one of my main things that was an issue, and that is kind of an issue, is that I set like time limits for myself. You know, I try to make like a schedule of like, okay, well, once I get to New York, I'm gonna like lose all this weight when I'm there. Or like once I'm in like Lacoste, like when I was like studying abroad and stuff, I'd be like, once I'm in Hong Kong, I'm gonna do this every day. I'm gonna lose so much weight once I do this. And then like, but it was always like, I want that reassurance from other people, because the thing is, it's when you're in that headspace, it's so insanely hard to know, to like recognize it yourself, you know? Like, I have seen photos of myself from, like, I would take a photo and like post it on like Visco or something, or like my Instagram or whatever, and just like I remember being like, oh, this is that day. Like, I remember taking this photo and then like feeling really bad about myself because I felt like I looked ugly, and like canceling plans. Like, I remember this one selfie of me when I'm like about to go to the beach. I'm like in a bathing suit or something, and I took a photo and I posted it, and then I like looked at it after posting it and being like, oh God, I'm so ugly, like I'm so fat, I can't believe, like, and again, of course, reclaiming that word, but in my brain, it was bad. And so for me, I guess I was like, I'm not at a weight that I want to be. I'm so like upset with myself. Like, I'm literally so ugly, and I would cancel plans. And then now I look at that and I'm like, I was so insanely skinny and fit, and like I looked like what in my mind now is like perfect. I'm like, that's exactly how I want to look. What? Like, it's just so crazy that like you can't see it, you know? When you're in this place of having like negative body image, like everything is cloudy. Like you can't see what's good. Like I literally, well, sometimes like I remember like last summer being in New York and being on the subway and like looking at every single person and being like, am I the skinniest on the subway? And then like being like, am I the skinniest on this side of the street? Am I the skinniest in this room? Like, and oftentimes I wasn't. Like a lot of the time I wasn't. I have a very like average body. Like I just like it's just crazy to me that like something like body image where like while it's something that literally no one cares about, in the sense that I would never, what I've said 100 times, I would never not be friends with someone because they looked a certain way. Something that like society doesn't really care about, but like mentally it can just mess you up. like the way that you look can physically just harm your mental health so much, which is, I mean, that's like nothing new. And I know obviously like it's not until like recently, and there's still a really long way to go, that people in the plus size, like who are plus sized, have like gained any kind of respect. Like it's ridiculous that like there's still so many stores that don't even make sizes like that aren't size inclusive. There's so many places that like discriminate against people for the size of their body, which also, by the way, is so something that like so many people can't even control. Like it's literally not just like, oh, just work out every day, just eat healthy. And it's like, okay, well, maybe someone might have like, I don't know, something where they like do work out every day and they might be toned, but they're still like more heavy set. I don't know. It's just like ridiculous to me that people like see people who are a certain weight a different way. I don't know. Those are, again, the people that you need to cut out of your life. So I don't know. I don't totally know what I'm saying. I guess just that like why I feel like I wanted to get this episode out there is just because like I'm stressing out about it, and I know that so many of you probably are too. And I guess I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that it's okay, and that like we can figure this out together, because I love you all so much and I want us to figure it out together. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I think if I had to have any kind of like words of advice or tips or anything that would like help this not be such an issue in your life, definitely positive affirmations, that whole thing. I know it like you feel so stupid doing it, and I still do. I'm still getting used to it. I haven't really done it for that long, and I'm really like trying to adjust to like making it feel normal. But just standing, looking at yourself in the mirror and just reminding yourself how beautiful you are, how capable you are, how strong and wonderful, and just all these things. It's also really good to like note that you're complimenting yourself on things more than just your physical appearance, and know that like that's just like a positive plus, you know, that like you're so smart and awesome and cool, and like awesome, what an added bonus, you have a bangin' bod, because every bod is a bangin' bod, you know. And I think also another huge thing that's really important just going out into the world is to like, we need to just, oh my God, just like stop like complimenting, like quote unquote complimenting people on their physical appearance. Like people are just so much more than just the way that they look. And the thing is, you literally never know what someone is going through. And so like if you say, oh my God, you've lost so much weight, that could be a real problem for someone. Like where you think you're trying to make a compliment, maybe they've been trying to put on weight or something like that. Or like you literally never know what someone's going through. Or if you say, oh my God, you look so good, you've lost so much weight, someone could be having like serious mental issues, struggling with their body image, and that's just like fueling the fire. You know what I mean? Like it's like a scene is like a form of like acceptance. If you look a certain way, if you're skinny, if you've lost weight, like that's like in society just like the way that you'll be like accepted. And I don't know, I feel like we need to just stop talking about it like, it's so much better to just like give compliments that are based off of people's like abilities. Like, wow, like, oh my gosh, you look so good. I love the way you style clothes. Like, you're so creative, or something like that. You know, like if it's about something physical, be like, oh my gosh, you look so good. Like, your hair is amazing. You know, something that's like more, I don't know, just not focusing on the person's body that could ultimately be focusing on their weight. You know what I mean? Like, I just get so sick and tired when people are like, oh my God, have you been working out? And it's like, shut up. Especially when, it's the worst when like you're in a group of people and only like one person gets that compliment. And then like, okay, so you say to friend A, oh my God, friend A, you look so good. Have you lost weight? And friend B is really struggling with like an eating disorder or something. And you haven't complimented her, but she's lost so much weight and she's been like stressing out about it. And it's a real issue. And then now she has this weird like inner turmoil where she's trying to like constantly be skinnier than friend A. Just stop giving people compliments on the way that their body looks. I'm so sick of it. It's literally just like doesn't benefit anyone. And then like if you're friend A, you'll be like, will friend C and D only like me when I look like I've lost weight? I don't even know, but it's just bad. It doesn't include everyone. It's not healthy. It's not productive. Just like stop it. I think something that was hard for me growing up was that my sister and I were really different. Like she would play soccer her whole life and like run track all the time and like stuff like that. She was always very athletic, which meant, you know, she's just like really in shape. She's really toned. She had like that flat stomach because she's just like working out all the time and stuff like that. And I was like the theater kid and like singer person who just like obviously didn't really work out that much and did so much more like arts and creative stuff. And so I wasn't just going to have a permanent six pack because I'm not going on long runs every day and playing soccer every day. Like, I've never sweat unless I was doing some musical number that I was probably half-assing anyway because I was like, I'm too good for this. Ew. Me in high school was gross. But anyway, I just like, I would always get so in my head because like she's so stunning and so beautiful. And I was like, I could never compete with her. Like, she's just like so perfect, you know? She's so in shape. She has like the perfect body. And it's just like, wow. And then like when I went through puberty, like nothing really, I don't know, I like got super tall. I like had a huge growth spurt where I grew like a foot or something like in a year. I don't even know, like over summer. And that kind of happened. But then I went on birth control like pretty shortly after like going through puberty. So I kind of had like a second puberty like back to back. And I just like got like hips and like boobs and just kind of like filled out more than I ever had, and like had like these like curves that I didn't know what to do with. And so I think like something that just like bothered me a lot was that like she was so like sporty and athletic, whereas I was more like curvy. But like it's just so crazy that like our bodies could not be more different, but we're both so incredibly beautiful. Like, I would always look to her and be like, oh, she's just like so perfect. Like, she could wear, you know, is like, my boobs are a little bit bigger than hers. And so like she could wear like any top and it would just look great. And then like I would wear a top and I would look like gigantic under the shirt because like my boobs are just like going crazy. And I'd be like, oh God, like she's so skinny. She's so perfect. Like she can wear anything and make it look good. And I like recently saw some photos of us from the beach and we're both just like standing there. It's from like years ago. It's from like 2017 or something. But like we're both standing there like walking out of the water. And our like silhouettes like could not be more different. Like we literally like our bodies are so insanely different. But again, still two like beautiful and just talented, wonderful, incredible women like inside of those bodies. Because like, and we get along really well. We have really good friendships. Like I have a boyfriend. She has a boyfriend. Like pretty much she's super successful in her job. I was like super successful like in college. Like she's a little older than I am. But like what I'm saying is like I'm not going to have less friends because I have bigger hips than her. I'm not going to like not get a boyfriend because I have like bigger boobs than her. You know, like it's something like I'm not going to like not get a boyfriend because of a way a shirt falls on me, you know? Like it's just like so crazy that these things, these like standards I set for myself in my head and just like growing up with that and always having her to like look at and be like, oh, I just want to be perfect like her, but I'll never be perfect like her. Like, that's just like that's so not a thing. And I feel like we need to like just recognize that everyone looks different and there is no perfect body. It's super hard right now with like, obviously social media is just like a constant like infiltration of just like what society wants us to look like, which is like freaking Kim Kardashian. And I just like, I was thinking about it, and I like Bella Hadid, for example. She is like, I feel like people would probably say she's like one of the most like beautiful people on this planet. And hear me out. I don't have any problem with like plastic surgery or anything, or like just like physical alterations. I don't know. I have no problem with that. If you're going to do something that will make you feel more comfortable in your body, comfortable in your skin, more confident, I fully approve. Like, do whatever makes you happy. Like literally whatever makes you happy. But I think about it, and I think about people like Bella Hadid who have changed literally every single part of their body, or every single part of their face, like their eyebrows, their cheekbones, her eyes, nose, mouth, like everything is different. And so I'm like, if everything is artificial, like why would I be looking up to this woman who doesn't even look like herself? You know what I mean? Again, it's like a weird fine line, because I'm like, part of me is just like, oh gosh, I don't want to support that because she's not even herself. So like, why should I love her? But then at the same time, I'm like, you go girl. Like if you feel like hot and confident now and you had the money, you had the ability to do it, like good for you. That's awesome. Like of course I want to like cheer on all women, like no doubt about that. But I think I also just like have to remind myself that her diet is probably so different than mine. Her like lips aren't even real, so I shouldn't like aspire to like have like, I shouldn't like long for plush full lips like Bella Hadid's, when like Bella Hadid's lips don't even look like that. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not trying to hate on Bella Hadid. I know nothing about her, but like that's not really fair for me to hate on someone I've literally never met and know nothing about. But I don't know, I just feel like if I wanted to, I could. Like if I wanted to look like her, I could. I mean, granted, I'd probably go into like insane debt, but like still, you know, like if I wanted to look like the Kardashians, I could. If I wanted to look like friggin' Lennon, what is her name? Like Lennon Stella? You know that girl that sang like that like little cup song thing like forever and ever and ever ago, and then she got famous, and then now she's like a singer. I was looking at her recently and I was like, oh my God, she looks so different from when she like made that cup video when she was like in like the early 2010s. Like she looks so different, and now she looks like every single like Instagram model, which don't get me wrong, she's insanely beautiful. But I'm just like, again, if I wanted to look like that, I could. If I wanted to like get a fake tan every week and get a nose job, I could. Totally. But like, I have what I have, and I feel like I should learn to love that first before I try to make those alterations. What is the word? Alterations, I think. There's so much I could say. I guess I just like am putting this rant out there to tell you how I'm feeling, what I'm kind of going through right now, and to like tell you that like if you're going through that, it's okay. Also, like 2021, I feel like we should just like banish a few things. Glow ups. Like the need to have a glow up. The need to look a certain way for like a certain season. Like summer bodies, swimsuit bodies, any like literally just put on a bathing suit and you have a bathing suit body. Like stop it. Stop screaming at me to tell me I need a bathing suit body. I think companies and just like corporate culture, what am I saying? I feel like companies like really love to kind of like monetize on the fact that they know that women have insecurities with their bodies. They love to be like, oh, it's swimsuit season. Like, here's a new gym membership. Oh, it's like 2021. Here's your New Year's resolution. Here's some like tummy tea. and like, oh, here's this like waist trainer and this like, it's just like ridiculous that everyone expected people in the pandemic to like glow up or to like start working out from home and look amazing. Like, so many people gained weight during the pandemic, myself included, and that's literally so okay. Like, it's so okay. We're in a global pandemic. We need to be kind to ourselves and caring and loving to our bodies, especially during a pandemic when like there's a deadly virus going around. Congrats. You gained a few pounds. Congrats on not dying. I hate people, and I hate freaking like just like companies trying to like always monetize on the fact that like we're insecure. I hate it. But yeah, so hopefully in 2021 we can be more aware of that and not get sucked in. Another thing that I think we should abolish in 2021 is what I eat in a day videos. I think those are incredibly toxic and unnecessary because I literally only ever watch those when I'm spiraling down into a really bad place mentally and hating myself physically. And it's just a comparison game. And when people are like, oh, what I ate in like everything I eat in a week, super realistic. And they're like, you guys, it's so crazy. Like, we got this bag of Doritos and we literally like finished it in like a week. It's like so embarrassing. Ha ha ha. Oh my God. Like, guilty pleasure. It's like, you finish a bag of Doritos in a week. Congrats. I finished it in one day. And now you make me feel terrible about myself. Like, I just feel like, especially because now that like children are getting phones younger and younger and younger, like we shouldn't be posting things like that, because like you are going to have like young girls and impressionable like preteen girls who are watching your videos who are going to go out to the store. Like when they're out at the store with their mom next time, they're going to be like, can we get some of these rice cakes and some hummus? Because I want to eat hummus on rice cakes for 3 meals a day, but maybe just 2 meals a day because that's what blah, blah, blah YouTuber does. And she's like a beautiful Victoria's Secret model and I want to look like her. No, stop. We're not developing eating disorders in 2021. Okay? So stop posting what I eat in a day videos. It's so bad. It's just like, it's literally just everything is a comparison game. And like the thing is, as much as you can just be like, if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Well, yeah, but I'm going to watch it if I'm spiraling into a bad place. That's like literally what I just said. But I'm going to watch it if I'm feeling down on myself. And I'm going to take notes on how I can eat nothing, have literally like a calorie intake of a freaking squirrel in one day, 2 nuts and a banana. That's it. No, sorry. But in 2021, we are loving ourselves. We are being forgiving on ourselves. We are being caring on ourselves. And we're just going to love ourselves. If possible. It's hard. It's a journey. And I know that I'm speaking from some experience of being someone who literally hates the way that I look. And the thing is too, I was talking about this with Reese this morning, how just like, it's so crazy how there are people out there online who are like body positivity Instagrammers or like mental health advocates. And it's like, oh, well, you can only, in this like weird age of social media, you can only like have a problem if you post about it. Like the second you like come out and be like, oh, I've been like, say someone comes out and they're like, I've been struggling with an eating disorder for like 2 years and I am really struggling. And now I'm going to go to like, to like a therapy, like, or like rehabilitation center. People are going to be like, we had no idea. Oh my God, this is so insane. Like, I never saw it coming. That's so crazy. Like, wow. Like, are you serious? Like, wow, you, but like, and like people who are post about like, if they had like mental health issues in their past or, you know, struggled with things like that are harming themselves in some way. Like if they then post about it, people are like, oh, he's so strong. Like it's so cool. He's really been through it, but like, he's so strong. Good for him for getting through this. And then like the person who never posts about it will never get that sympathy. You know what I mean? Like just because like we live in this weird age where we have to post everything. And like same thing with body positivity. It's so frustrating to me that it feels like unless you are stick thin, if you post a photo in a bikini or like your underwear or something, I don't know, like you have to have the caption be something about body positivity, unless you're stick thin. Like, and if you're stick thin, like, why aren't you posting more in your bikini? Like, show us what's under there. Like, why is society like that? I hate it so much. Like, I just wish that like a woman who's plus sized or even just like mid-sized, literally anything, I wish that like women could just post a photo like on the beach and not have to be like hashtag body positivity, feeling comfortable in my skin. Like, why does every campaign have to revolve around like feeling good in your skin and being comfortable? The only reason that the body positivity movement exists is because we hate ourselves so much. Like, if society didn't tell us that being fat, quote unquote, is a bad thing, then like we wouldn't have to have the body positivity movement. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just seems kind of backwards that like there are people who are just like, again, literally making money off of the fact that we hate ourselves. Like how like any like a mental health campaign is so groundbreaking and so like necessary. Like, everyone has to like be a mental health advocate. But that's because like there was a time like literally yesterday when like no one was talking about it and it was so taboo. Like, we're people and we're struggling with things and like no one is perfect. Like, being perfect literally just doesn't exist. So I don't know. I feel like I should wrap this up, but sorry for ranting for so long. This is probably the most like ranty video I've ever made in my life / podcast. But I want you to just like be a part of my life, and I don't know, we're in this together. I'm learning things just as much as you are. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you next time. It's been real. Be sure to follow the podcast Instagram, which is something like Olivia Pod, and then also my Instagram if you want to see me make a fool out of myself and probably in the near future make a post about being body positive, because I'm learning just as much as you are. So we'll get there. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye.